Hello guys, welcome to my channel on Tech. This is Sandeep Cole here. Hope you all doing good. So today's video which I am going to take is on again BMC remedy RSSO, and today what we're going to see is how RSSO helps us in doing the SAML authentication. So SAML authentication is a modern way of authenticating systems, and RSSO also supports it, and it's currently used across organizations. Different organizations use SAML authentication to authenticate the users, and in this video we will see how we can use SAML authentication to we will see how SAML authentication can be used through RSSO, how it can help us in authenticating our AR server and mid-tier. So that's what we are going to see today. So now, before going on to the SAML authentication, there are some basic steps, basic things which we have to do. So I would like you to keenly watch my video and also understand each and every sentence I'm saying, because it's very important for you to understand each and every aspect of this particular setting. So now, before we set up the SAML authentication, normally it is done here. If you go here in relims, so here if I click on add relim, that means it's one of the authentications available here. Okay, so from here we can configure it. So we'll come on this page, but before this we have to do some basic configuration. Now you know that all websites, when they're running on HTTPS, they work on certificates. People who are aware about HTTPS protocol, that we need to have a valid certificate. For example, if I open this website and then if I go here in the connection is secure, certificate is valid, if I click on this, it will show me a valid certificate, something like this. Okay, and if I export it, I can also export it on my system to see it. Now, before why I'm explaining you all this is because this is needed for RSSO. Now, first thing is you have set it up your RSSO, and now you want to run your RSSO on HTTPS. Now, before RSSO starts doing the SAML authentication, you have to run RSSO on HTTPS. It cannot run on HTTP because SAML, as part of is a Windows setup. It is spread across organizations, so normally they will not allow you to do this on HTTP. So we have to make RSSO run on HTTPS before we do any SAML authentication. Now RSSO is installed, it is set it up. We know that how to set up RSSO. I have already taken a video on that. Now how we will consider, we'll see how it can be configured into HTTPS, then how the SAML authentication can be done through it. Okay, so now for RSSO, to set this RSSO in HTTPS, what you need to do is first of all you need to generate the key or the certificate. So how we will do that? So there are number of ways to do it. One of the way is this one. If I go here, okay, so these are some commands which you need to execute, and based on these commands then you can set up your certificates. So the first thing we will do is through this genkey. We will use this is a keytool command. We will generate a file. Which file it will be? It will be keystore.jks or jks file. This is a normal file which we will generate, or a key which we will generate through this command. So once you run this command, I will paste this also in the description. You can take it from there also. You have to run this command. Here you will provide the location of the file, so it will give you the location where it will be stored. So once you are executing this command, it will generate this file here in this location. So this is the first step. So you will generate a key. Then the second step is to do a certificate request. Okay, now what you need to do, you need to run this command again, keytool. This is a certificate request, and here you need to pass this file here. So here we are generating it, here we are passing this file to this command, and what it will do, it will generate a certificate request file which will be .csr. So you will get a this file in this location. You can use your own location where you want to basically store it. So then you will get this csr. This is called basically certificate request. Now what we will do, we will take this file and we will share it with our certificate authority. So what certificate authority will do, they will generate as a .cr file, which is basically a certificate. So they will give us a certificate. So that is what I showed you on the website, which I just downloaded. So it is basically this. So which I showed you on the website, that for example, if I went sorry, if I go here, click here, connection is secure, certificate is valid. So here I can see this certificate. If I export it, I can be able to save it on my system. So I already done that. So let me show you what exactly it contains. Let me open it. Now if I open this certificate, you can see here I can install it on my machine itself directly from this, because it's a normal certificate which can be installed. Now if I go here in the details, sorry, certification path, see there are three parts of it. So this is, first is root, this is intermediate, and this is the main certificate. So for this certificate, these are the three parts we have. Now what we need to do, we need to break down this certificate into three parts, and then these three parts we have to import into keystore. So we will see them, how it can be done. It's very simple step. Let's say if I have to break down this into three parts, I will say v1 certificate, then I'll go to here, details, copy file, next. Then here I need to select this base code.cr. Then here I would say root. Let me see the location. Let's put it on desktop. Would say root. Next, finish. So it has exported. Similarly, what I will do, I will go here to the second part, wave certificate. I'll explain you why I'm doing this. Okay. So then I would say, sorry, to go here, copy to a file. Next, again I will select base61 encoded.cr. Then desktop. Here I would say intermediate. Save it. Okay. Now I have three parts of frame. Same certificate I have generated. I have three parts. One is intermediate. One is root. Okay. Now why I'm doing this is because when you do the authentication from RSSO to AR server or to mid tier, or when you communicate from between RSSO server and mid your AR server, so what happens, sometimes the system does not, or the server does not understand the whole certificate. So it will sometimes try to authenticate through the root, sometimes it will try to authenticate through intermediate or the main certificate. So the problem is that if either of them is not there in the key store, then it will create a problem, it will not work. So what we need to do, we have to import all these into the system to uh, basically have all of them. Now where we have to import, this comes the next. So first we generated a certificate, we use the certificates to run this. Now, so this certificate, for example this one, it is for RSSO. So this is a RSSO certificate. Okay. So what we have to do now, let me go back here. So this RSSO certificate, I have to import this into Keytool or keystore of AR server and mid tier. Please remember this. We have to import this into Keytool and Keytool or keystore of, sorry, not Keytool, keystore of AR server Java. So how that we will do? You have to go to, for example, you have to go to the AR system server. There you need to go to this directory. So there you need to locate the Java. For example, this one, JDK, then lib, not here, not bin, just a minute, I would say bin, sorry, just a minute, I'm just trying to find out. So there is a folder called security, yeah. So it is in GRE, security, and then this file. Okay, this certs, this contains all the certificates, valid certificates. So any application, now which Java you need to go, the Java which is being used by AR server. So for example, in the AR server you can check which Java is being used, then you can go to that particular Java, and in this file, this is basically a keystore file. So in this file we have to import the all the three certificates which we have generated for RSSO. There are two ways to, there are two ways with which you can you can import this. One is through commands. Second thing is through a key store explorer. I will explain you both how you can do that. So first let's go to the commands part. So this is a command here. Ignore this one is just to list the key store files. So these three commands, okay, these three commands. So the three files which we have generated, first this is root. So now if I run this command, so here I would say keytool import root, then keystore. We need to mention keystore file. So here I have to mention my keystore file, which is this jks, which I have generated in first step. Then trust certificates. Then I have to import this into the then I have to import this the root file. The root file is this one, okay. So this is what I have generated from that particular certificate. This is root, this is intermediate, and this is the main file. So I have to import this into the tomcat. Sorry, I have to import this into the jks file. So here I have given an example of jks because I have generated this key. Similarly, now what I need to do, I need to import this to this file, which is this cert file. So instead of that jks, it will be, let me go back here. So I will put keystore, and then here I would mention that complete location, and here I would replace it with jks. Sorry, I would replace it with certs. So this command works for both jks and for this certificate, because jks also is a keystore file. So then I would mention the location of this certs. For example, if I complete location, I would say this. Copy this, I'll go back, update this location here. Okay, then you have to run this command through command line. So you can directly copy this, put it on a command prompt, and on the server you have to run this on server. Make sure that you're running this on server. Keytool import, then this file, because this is certificate keystore file, and then here I would say tom, this is the main file. Similarly, I will do this for this one and then this one. So what it will do, it will import my root, it will import my intermediate, it will import my main certificate into the this certs file. Okay, now now coming on to the again, once this is done, so you have imported all your files into the certificate. The other option is you can do is through keystore explorer. So if I say keystore explorer, you can download it yourself. There's a normal it's a free software, you can use it. Either you can go here, download it. For example, I'll showcase you how it works. You can directly download an exe or an zip file. So let it download, and then once I think it's done. Let me go here. Yeah, it's done. So the first step we have seen, we can download it through the we can import it through our import tool. The other option is through this one. It's not. Let me extract this. So this is just a zip file, and there is an exe inside. It will run automatically. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now if I double click on this, it will open up a normal application. So now how to do okay, let me run it away. So how you can use this now is, first of all, you have to import that certs file into this keystore explorer that I will show you. So we have seen that through command lines we can run these three commands, give this location, give the certs location, and then give the file name, and then it will be imported. First, second, and third. One is for root, intermediate, and tomcat. Sorry, and the root certificate. Now I will show you how we can. Let me open that file. So it is in here in my Java. So it's gre lib security. Let me see all files. Open this. So by default, if you haven't set up any custom password, it is the password is changed. CHANGEIT, all small. So it will open up this keystore file. Okay, now you can see these are all certificates which have been imported into this keystore. Now what I will do, I will click on these tools, import trusted certificate. I will go to desktop. So here I would say first I will import root. Then you can give any name as, let's say, root or any custom name. Then similarly I will import intermediate, and then the main certificate. So what I did, I imported, sorry, not keep here, I have to import trusted certificate, then main certificate. Okay, so you can also use this tool now to generate these certificates, sorry, to import these certificates into the system. So this is what we have seen. You can see these are the three certificates which we have imported. Now my keystore file has all the three certificates. Now when RSSO will contact AR server which is running on this Java, it will check this keystore that already has this certificate. So it will validate the authentication. Okay. So the first part you saw through these commands you can import, and the second is through this keystore. You can use any other tool to import it. It's just not mandatory, but you should see something like this. Okay. Now same process what we did on this, we have to do it on AR server. So same process we had to do in mid tier. So first step was to get a certificate through this. Now let me reiterate this. First was to generate a key certificate request, then give this to certificate authority. They will give you a dot CR file, which is a certificate file. You have to break down that into three parts, which is root, intermediate, and main certificate. Then you have to import this into Java keystore file where of server on which AR server is running, or the Java on which AR server is running. You have to import this into that. Similarly, you will import same thing into the mid tier. So in mid tier also you will go to mid tier server. There also you will locate the Java where you will locate this file on which mid tier is running. Then you will process the same process. You will import all them. Now we had initially generated this JKS file. You can see JKS file. You can also, you have to import all of them into this JKS file also. Now this is needed only if you are using this JKS file in the tomcat directory. Now to run this tomcat server or a RSSO server on on the HTTPS using this certificate, there are two ways. One is self-signing certificate. You can use this certificate directly without generate key, and then you'll get a certificate. You can give a path in the server.xml file that I will show you how it looks like. So this is your server.xml file. Then this is your server.xml file. So here you will see this looks something similar. In Tomcat also you'll have this file. So you will have this 84443 port. By default it is disabled if you are not using HTTPS. If you are using HTTPS, it will be enabled. So here you need to enable this, and also you need to copy, you need to give a path to this JKS file. You need to give a path to this JKS file. You need to store this JKS file in some directory. For example, if I go to AR server, I have stored it here in my system on AR server, and then in the tomcat server.xml, I will give the path to that directory. So then it will take that file and it will authenticate. The next step, the other option is that you gave this, you generated this key, you give it to your authority, you did generated the CR file, which is this one. Then you gave it to your certificate authority, they will give you a CR file. Then with this CR file, you have to generate one more file, because directly you cannot use CR file in Tomcat. The reason for that is because Tomcat understands key value pair. So the certificate by default is not a key value pair. So if you see here, here also it says this import key value pair. So what we need to do, we need to convert this file into PKCS format, PKCS12 format. So that you can check with your admin how you can do that. That this certificate file, this certificate which they have given you, this certificate, you need to convert this into PCKS file, which I showed you here. Just sorry, go here. So you need to convert that into this format. Then what you need to do, in the Tomcat directory, you have to use the in the server.xml, you have to give that as a path here instead of JKS. So one is using your self-signing certificate JKS. The other way is creating PKCS12 format from certificate file, and then using that file into the Tomcat server.xml. Okay. So this is to run your RSSO on the HTTPS. Okay, now this is all set it up. You have imported your first step. You will run RSSO on HTTPS. You will get a certificate. You will generate a certificate. Sorry, you will generate a certificate using this process. Then you will run RSSO on this HTTPS using this certificate. Then you will break down the certificate.cr file into 3 parts: root, intermediate, and main certificate. Then you will import that into the Java keystore file on which AR server is running. Then Java keystore file on which mid tier is running. All mid tiers, all the mid tiers which are running, all the AR servers which are running. Okay. So this part is done. Now your system is set up. The base part is done, even though it's the main configuration, but it's the base part. Okay. Now moving on to the SAML authentication. So what you have to do now for SAML authentication, if I click on this import, I get two options. One is import from URL or import from local file. So what this you need to get from your SAML team, from your Windows team. You will get either a URL. So if you get a URL, then that port should be accessible from your RSSO server. And if you get a local file, they will share this file with you. Thus you have to select it from here and choose the file. Then you have to import this file. Or if you click on this URL, you provide a URL, click on import, it will do the same thing. The both processes are same. File, URL, both will work. Okay. So once this is done, then these fields will be filled. You will get this login URL, logout URL. This is basically the SAML configuration which gets populated here. Okay. Then what you need to do, you need to provide these other attributes. User ID, you need to define which ID will be used as a user ID in the SAML authentication. It depends on the type of the field. Some are using SAML ID, some are using principal name, some are using other. This you can check with your authentication team, or you can check with your Windows team. Then name ID format, you have to select one of the options. So which which format you have to select is basically the field which will be used to search on your SAML system. So some use email address, then some use Kerberos, some use any other, some use principal name, not Kerberos. Then some use some other parameters. You can check then which one your system is using to fetch that particular record. Because what happens when I connect to a SAML system, I need to fetch the user who is trying to connect. So your SAML system, based on what it is fetching this user account, that you have to define here. Okay. So once this is done, the remaining information you don't have to provide. And then there is this button called view metadata. So now if I click on this view metadata, it will generate a, currently it's not doing anything, but what it will do, if I have already populated things, it will generate a key or a it will generate an XML file. So that file you need to share with your certificate authority or the team. Once you give it to them, what they will give you, they will give you this signing certificate key. Okay, so that key you will copy here. Okay, so you will click on this after providing this URL here, or after providing the XML file, local file, you will provide these details. Then you will click on metadata, there will be an XML file generated, you will copy that, you will send it to your certificate authority. What they will do, they will give you a key which is called IDP signing certificate key. So what they will do, you will copy that here. Okay, once this is copied, then you will just add it here, and then once it's added, then your SAML authentication is set up. You can test it. Now there is one more important thing, this sign request. If I click on this sign request, then what happens, that whenever you are sign somebody is authenticated, logs in into the system through SAML, and if he basically closes the window and then again he tries to log in, he is forced to provide the credentials again if you check this box. If you don't check this, it will basically, till the time the session is valid there, it will not ask him for credentials, it will directly log him. Even if he logs out from remedy, then he will be again logged in into the remedy system using the same session which was earlier used when he generated when he had validated himself. Okay, but if you want to force user to do this every time, then you have to go through this, you have to check this box. Okay, now this is set it up, this system is set up. Now to test this, how to do it in how you have to enable configuration in mid-tier. There is a documentation for this given in BMC. You can refer the documentation in AR, how you what configurations you have to add. But normally there is a file, this RSSO agent properties file. This has this SSO external URL, SSO service URL. So this you need to provide here. So this will be your RSSO URL. This will, by default, it should be HTTPS if you are using HTTPS, and then you have to provide this RSSO URL here. It should be updated with the RSSO URL, and in also this is called RSSO agent properties. It is present in I guess in mid-tier. So it's in WebINF folder. You will find it in mid-tier folder. You go to WebINF folder, there you will be able to find it, and then you have to update this. And second is you need to go to AR server. There also there is a file called RSSO.properties. You can refer the documentation for exact name because I don't remember it. There also there is a file. There also you need to add the service URL. Now, if your URL is all set it up, you know it in advance, because when you install the RSSO, what I suggest to you is install the RSSO, put it on HTTPS, configure, do all the steps which I have mentioned in my video, make it to run on HTTPS, get the certificate, do the certificate part, then import the certificate in AR, import the certificate in mid-tier. Then what you do, then afterwards you run the agent for AR server and mid-tier, because for RSSO installation there is one part where you have to run these agents on all AR servers, on mid-tier servers. That time it will ask you for this URL. Okay, so that time, if in during that agent installation on AR server, if you provide this URL in the installation itself, you don't have to go and make changes in these configuration files. It will be automatically added. But later, in case if the URL is changed, the port has changed, then you can go and edit it and make changes to there. You don't have to run installation again. You have to just go and edit these files and make the changes, and then it will start working. So once this configuration is done, then the best way to test is you hit the mid-tier URL. So once you are hitting the mid-tier URL, it will redirect you to this URL, which will be something like this. Let me go here, which will go to RSSO. It will be this, something like this. It will hit to RSSO, and once this URL is hit, we have configured SAML here. It will redirect to the SAML system. Then you will have to log in with your Windows credentials. It will send you an authentication request, like normally how SAML authentication works. It will send you that through SAML authenticator. You will validate it, and once you are validated it, your credentials are fine, validated, it will redirect back you into the RSSO, and RSSO will log you into the remedy system. So you will be able to see the ITSM homepage directly. Okay, you don't have to do again do authentication at remedy system. So this is how actually the authentication works. This is the final steps in it, how you test it basically. So I think this was a very lengthy video because this configuration itself is quite complex. I tried my best to explain you because there are multiple things which are needed. Maybe in some cases I was not able to show you everything, but I have explained you each and every bit of this particular configuration. So each and every minute details I have explained you. But still, if there are any questions, any queries you have, you can let me know in comments, or you can send me an email. I'd be very happy to answer those things. Okay, but I guess after watching this video, going through it, you can you'll be able to do the SAML authentication very easily. Okay, so this is it from my side. Please subscribe to my channel, and press the bell icon so that you'll get my notification for my videos. And also please like my videos, provide your comments, and any suggestions you have. I would love to add to the it to my videos. Okay, thank you.